Now we are going to derive the excess pressure in the case of liquid drop. I didn't rub the board. I am using the same derivation which one was derived for the previous one, air bubble. Both are almost similar. The only thing is slightly, the assumption to be slightly changed. Here, let us imagine a liquid drop. The drop, it is fully made up of liquid and it is surrounded by air. Are you clear? Here, for the sake of the convenience, for the derivation purpose, the liquid drop is split into two hemispheres, as seen in the case of air bubble. Here, the inside part within which liquid is there, this is surrounded by air. Are you clear? As usual, the excess pressure is acting only on the concave surface. There is a pressure inside from the liquid side, that is P1. There is another pressure that is acting from outside, that is called P2. On each molecule of the liquid on the surface, the force due to surface tension is acting tangentially, and if the direction of the force are extended for other molecules, finally on the rim you can see plenty of molecule. On each one of them the force due to surface tension is acting, and the radius of the liquid drop can be taken as r. And here also, in the case of liquid drop also, only one free surface is there. Look at here, this is a free surface. So this is the surface which is having contact with air. That's why this is called free surface. Within which liquid is there. The inside, no free surface is there. The only free surface available only here, that is in the outside. Are you clear? So on the basis of the same assumption, I have derived. Again, I'll explain. Here, the force P1, force due to P1, that is acting from inside, that is from liquid side, and Fp2, this is the force due to P2, that is acting from outside, that is from air side, and Ft, what is Ft? This is the force due to surface tension. And already we have derived the formula for force due to pressure, P into pi r square. Same expression is used. Since it is P1, we can write P1. Since the force due to pressure P2, instead of that we can write P2 pi r square. Force due to surface tension can be written as T into 2 pi r. Only one free surface is there. Since only one free surface is there, what we have tried? We have tried 1. Don't forget, since only one free surface is there in the case of liquid drop, 1 must be written, and this P1 and P2 can be written within the bracket. Pi r square can be written outside, and T into 2 pi r, same expression must be written. Cancel the factors pi and pi, and 1 r can be cancelled. After simplification, the excess pressure derivation, that expression can be obtained finally. Therefore, del P is equal to 2T by R. The same expression was already derived in the case of air bubble. Are you clear? Now, the same expression is derived even in the case of liquid drop. So very simple one. That's why I didn't rub the board again. I have used the same expression as seen in the case of air bubble. For both liquid drop and air bubble, the excess pressure expression is del P is equal to 2T by R. Don't forget the term 2. Here, the force due to excess pressure and force due to surface tension, both are acting in the opposite direction. Both of them will be in equilibrium. Because of that liquid drop always it will be remaining in the spherical shape. That is the purpose of learning the thing. Force due to excess pressure and force due to surface tension, both of them are balancing with one another. They will be in equilibrium. Because of that equilibrium condition, what happens? That liquid drop, that one will be always remaining in which condition? The spherical shape. Understood? Let's go to the next one called soap bubble. That is a special case. What is the next one? Soap bubble to be seen. Thank you. Okay.